Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is for Spiegelmom Scraps using their sequins. This, I don't believe I showed the sequins at the beginning. I totally forgot. That was my fault. But I did use the Bookish sequins, which are the ones that I've been featuring a couple other times this month also. And they match this collection perfectly. Here I'm just pulling in a lot of scraps, and I have 3 photos from my childhood home that we lived in for about 10 years. I'll tell you a little bit more about the photos when we get a little bit further into the layout. These letters are from crepe paper. At first I thought I was going to be able to do my title with them, but when I realize later on as I go to spell out different titles, I don't really have a lot of letters left, and I'm not able to spell out what I wanted to with them. So I ended up just using the numbers for the number 12 to put on the layout. And then here are some crepe paper. These are also thickers, but I don't end up using any of the crepe paper items. I actually go all with Jen Hatfield. I'll get to those papers in just a minute. But first, as usual, I'm showing you what I picked out because this is what I thought I was going to use. But once I got started on the layout, my design kind of changed. I believe I do pull in a couple of the puffy stickers, but that might be about it. This sticker book here, I thought I was going to be able to use a few of these because it's a lot of home-related items. But again, the design kind of went a different direction. This sticker sheet I actually use a lot of. The chipboard, which is what I'm showing here, this is also from crepe paper. Maggie Holmes, actually. I believe this one's Maggie Holmes. But again, I don't use any of the chipboard pieces either. This one here, I thought I was going to bring in the swan. There was a couple of different swans, and I thought I would bring those in because on the front porch of the house, there is a swan that's sitting on the porch that was a planter that my mom used to put out every year. So it was part of, my childhood memories. This paper here, I planned on using as my background. That one is a crepe paper, I believe it's a crepe paper. And then these ones here are all Jen Hatfield, mainly from the collection, what is it, Life? Sorry, it is called it is by Jen Hatfield, and it's called Live and Let Grow. So here's quite a few of the papers that I have. I knew when I picked up these papers that I could use them for some of these house photos that I have from my childhood. My mom and dad were very big on doing like the landscaping outside of the house and taking pictures of the house. We have quite a few pictures of the house, and I thought this collection would work perfectly. So I'm glad to finally get this layout done. I had used a prompt from Scraptember, which was no people, and I believe that was day 11, but I didn't get it posted, or I didn't get the layout done. Actually, it was before that. Sorry, I forgot which day it was for, but anyways, it was during Scraptember, but I didn't get the layout up or finished in time for the prompt, so I decided just to make it part of my design team layout. So here I'm adding the photos, and I did keep since the photos are from the 80s, they do have the rounded corners. I went ahead and rounded the papers also, and I thought that made it kind of a cool design. So here I'm going to use it has all the colors, and it has green, blue, the orange, and even, I believe, pink. And then I'm going to use that as the background mat, basically the main one besides the white one. And the white one just has like leaves and flowers on it, but I really liked the white edge, so I did 1 inch all the way around. So and then made them meet up in the middle. And then the larger piece at the top, The stripe one is showing about 5 inches, I believe. And then it's about an inch, and then a half inch, and then 2.5 inches or so. And I believe, that's close to the measurements. If you're doing 12 by 12, of course, you would have to do a little bit more, top and bottom to match it up. But basically, I just wanted the papers to match up and lay across the layout. And then I'm going to add my 3 photos. And like I said, the house one, I triple matted actually. And then the other blue one is a wheelbarrow that used to sit in our front yard. And in the background, you can see an angel that used to sit by our window. And it was made out of ceramic. So, and then the little tire flower pot that was in the front also, I wanted to, show that picture also, because once again, that was something that they put out every year. These borders here, I cut with a border punch, and it's a scallop punch, and I just punched it with the navy blue paper, but didn't get any of there's houses in the background of that paper. But I made sure that I only did the navy blue, not the houses, and I punched it so that it would fit all the way around. It's about a half an inch, and I'm just going around and piecing it together. I had enough paper to cut, but I also wanted to save some of the navy blue paper for another layout. So I was kind of being stingy and just punched out what I needed and then cut it up and pieced it back together. And it pieces back together just fine. And in the end result, you really can't tell that I pieced it together. And I used liquid glue to put it down just so I could push it a little bit closer to the paper once I put it down. And I'm going to go all the way around it, and then the corners, I used my corner rounder and a little corner piece of the paper that I cut, and I did 4 of those, one for each corner. And I believe I will show, I'm leaving that space at the top because the photo that goes at the top will go over that border, so there was no need to fill that in. Yeah, here I'm putting in the little corner pieces, and like I said, I just used the corner punch, punched it out of the navy paper, and then I'm just tucking it in. So it'll be a rounded corner up there at all 4 corners. And if my voiceover sounds a little bit different today, it's because my microphone died. But I need to get this up, so sorry, my apologies. Hopefully you guys can hear me, and it's okay. But I think it's kind of self-explanatory. It's not a very complicated layout. It's just a matter of cutting the papers down and getting them in the right place. And I did make a tag for my journaling, and the journaling is just going to say basically how long we lived in this house. I do have another layout that has more journaling about this house and my childhood memories at this house, but it doesn't have the address of this house. So I wanted to include that somewhere on the layout. And then here, the gold doily, I'm going to bring in and cut it down so that I can place basically almost half and half. It's a little bit less than half on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put the number right on the middle of that doily, which is number 12. And that's the number of the house. This was a neighborhood that everybody had the same address, just like apartment buildings, but the houses had numbers on them. And it was a closed street. It's a complete circle. And I believe there was 30 homes. And, it was a large neighborhood. And it was lots of fun growing up on that street because you could literally ride your bike in the street and all around, because mainly people that came up into the neighborhood, it was on top of a hill, lived up there. So they drove with caution because they knew kids would be playing. And it was just a great place to grow up, at least for the first 10 years of my life. We did end up moving away to a different home for a year. And then my dad was diagnosed with ALS, and we actually moved back to this neighborhood because my mom wanted to be closer to her family, and this neighborhood was closer to family than the house that we were in for the year. So the happy memories are not, of course, the 4 years that my dad was dying, but the first 10 years are definitely happy memories. And that's in this house. We moved to a different house when we came back because we needed a house that didn't have stairs. So, and this house was pretty much a tri-level house with a basement. So it was almost like 4 levels, but not complete levels. It was definitely what we would call, or what I would call, a tri-level home. The top floor had 2 bedrooms, which is where my bedroom was, and the master bedroom. And then it had, if you went down the stairs, you had a living room, a kitchen, a dining room. And then you go down another set of stairs and you had 2 more bedrooms and a bathroom where my sister's bedrooms were. And then another set of stairs, and there was basement. That was the completed basement. And it had cement walls, but it also had carpet, and you could add drywall if you wanted to. I believe we added drywall in the second house, but not in this one. But anyways, I'm just adding some embellishments around. I haven't really stuck anything down until now. These stickers were stuck to the sticker sheet just fine, but when I pulled them off, they had no stick to them almost at all. So I had to use a little bit of liquid glue to put them down. But I love the large number 12 just because whenever we talk about this house, we always refer to it as number 12 because that was how we, could tell the houses apart. So here I'm just adding a little flower cluster over here on the edge of the photo and a butterfly. And again, these are all from the Jen Hatfield sticker sheet. And then a little gold butterfly. And then the title pieces I actually got from an older, thicker set that I had in my stash. I'm not sure who that was from. It might have been Maggie Holmes. But it still had the words "our family home" on it. So those are the words that I used. It actually said "ours" instead of "our family home." So I took the S off of it. And then the sticker that the light is blocking that I just put down next to "R" in between family is a bird's nest with 3 eggs in it. And then there's a set of little loving birds that I also put by the nest. And to me, it kind of represents, a cute little family. And it happens to be, we had 3 girls and mom and dad living in this house. So I think it represents the family perfectly. And over here, I'm just adding down the title pieces, and then I'll add down a little flower. And the hearts are gold from the thicker sheet, and their center pieces I cut from the navy paper to add a little bit more navy around the inside of the layout since I added the border on the outside. And then not sure I really add anything else. I add pretty much the hearts all around. And then, of course, the final touch will be sequins, which I'm going to use, like I said, the Bookish ones. And then I use another set of sequins, that are from my stash, and they are a navy sequin. And that's those ones there. There's not very many left, but I do pull out some of the navy ones just to throw in a little bit more blue. But the Bookish ones actually matched perfectly. They had the green, they had everything except for the blue. So that's what I'm pulling out here. Actually, these ones here are actually black, not navy. Yeah, they're black, to add in a little bit more black since I have the large black 12 right in the middle. Some of the other stickers are black and white, so they match also. And then on the tag, I added a couple more stickers also. And then, like I said, the back side will just have enough room for a little bit of journaling to say, the years of when we lived there. And it'll have the actual address of the home. So here, just sharing a couple little close-ups so you can see it. And then I will have some close-up photos also. And I should have another layout for you tomorrow, hopefully. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's layout for Spiegelmom Scraps. And if you'd like to pick up any sequins or anything else from her shop, you can use my code Jennifer15 and save 15% in the shop. And I will see you guys in the next layout. Bye!